Hey guys, we just wanted to send you a few things specifically for our table leaders, our minor league managers, and then also our special assistants who will be guiding and facilitate discussion throughout the week. First, I've attached a table leadership assignments document that I'll have in your orientation handbook for you all on Tuesday morning when we get rolling upstairs in the strategy center. But this will have kind of the list of the groups that we have. We're going to have our players divided into 7 groups of 5. We'll have 35 guys, 35 players at orientation. So we'll create 7 groups, 7 tables with a minor league manager being the point person at the table, and then also a special assistant or staff member there to help complement and co-lead discussion. So put that on an email to you guys, and also we'll have it for you in print. Much like we did last year, the players will be in one particular group. We have them separated out into 7 different groups. They will stay the same, and then staff members will rotate each day. So vision with that is we want our players to get exposed and experience with different managers, with different staff members. So we're going to rotate the table leaders each day so they can connect with you all. You all can connect with them and get to know more of the guys. And that will be a general flow throughout the week. So as you guys know, hopefully you've heard this a lot, but a huge purpose in this week is not only educating and equipping our players and what it means to be a Royal and to pursue success in professional baseball and life, but to really build that relationship between the Royals as an organization and these players. As you guys know, we cannot influence or guide or coach or instruct or help mold our guys if they don't trust us. So a huge element of this week is just trying to build and cultivate trust between our staff, between you all and our players. So that's part of the vision and reason behind the roundtables and behind the discussion and behind the emphasis of building relationships with these guys is so they get comfortable with you, you get comfortable with them, and you can lead and guide them to new levels throughout the year. So just know that, and hopefully you guys have heard that a lot, but that's a big element. So when it comes to discussion times and when it comes to us kicking it to the tables, we want you guys to facilitate that time and where it needs to go. If you hear something in a session, if a speaker says something and you really want to capitalize on it, share a story about it, ask a question about it, feel free to do that. Be thinking about those things as you're listening to speakers share, and just know that that dynamic is a big focus for us in this week. I know that last year there was actually a desire for more time at tables from both our players and our staff members, and we've tried to architect the schedule in such a way that allows for that, and we'll do our best to create space for that throughout the week. All right, as far as table discussions go, just a few tips or tools that might be helpful for you guys as you're leading these conversations with the players. First thing I want to encourage you guys with is to ask open-ended questions. Ask questions of these guys that cannot be answered with yes or no. All right, what are your thoughts? What challenges do you foresee in embracing that mindset or that element that the speaker talked about? Asking why, just following up and asking, why do you think that is? Or what do you think could be behind that for you? Simple question. If you're just need to launch into a table discussion, what was useful or valuable about that session? What impacted you in that session, or what he or she shared about? I'm going to try to put up sample questions on the screen when we're in those spots where you guys are discussing things to just help kind of catalyze conversation. But just go where it needs to, and feel free to ask questions as you'd like. But that'd be a big focus if you guys can be thinking about, how do I ask questions to get these guys talking? What are questions I can ask to get these guys talking? Maybe some of those would be helpful. Second thing I'd share as a tip to help you with table discussion: share personal stories. Make it personable. Try not to just share concepts or ideas or principles only, although that's helpful. If you can connect it to a story, brief if possible, but connect it to a story where an actual experience that you or someone you played with or coached with or led with has went through, that helps stick things for these guys and moves from it being just content down into application, or hopefully integrated into embodiment and something that they can utilize for the future. So share personal stories. Great stories, ones that are successful are fun and awesome, but vulnerable stories where maybe you're not the hero, but you learn something from it. Leaders who are competent but yet vulnerable are a very powerful thing in people's lives. So don't be afraid to share some of those things. You guys did fantastic with it last year. All right, invite engagement from everybody. You might have some guys that are super extroverted that are willing to share every time, that as soon as you ask a question, they're going. All right. And don't be afraid if that keeps happening or it happens for a while. Hey, Joe, hey, thank you for sharing. Appreciate your input on that. I'd like to pause you for a second. Let's hear from some other guys at the table. That respects Joe, validates his sharing, but invites other people to share at the table as well. And if you got someone who's just quiet and hasn't shared anything, then just give them a meatball pitch to get them talking or get some type of engagement. I think these guys will want to participate, but you always have quiet people. Just, graciously invite them into the conversation so they can get more out of the experience. Don't be afraid of moments of silence. There might be some spots where you just need to ask a question and then let it sit and wait for someone to pick it up and dig in. That's okay. So don't be afraid of those moments of silence, although they can be awkward. Get them going and get them engaging. The last thing I'd share is just really try to keep it safe. And what I mean by that is emotionally safe. So if anybody shares anything that could be maybe a risk, I know sometimes some guys last year even shared about family history or some stuff that was challenging for them when they were growing up, which is awesome and really cool that guys are willing to go there. You as the leader, you as the point person in the table, and this actually goes for all of life, for all of conversations that you have. If you can say, hey, thank you for sharing that, or I appreciate you sharing that with us, that does a lot to honor and to validate that person for sharing whatever it was. And if someone, I don't think our guys would do this, but if anybody would make fun of someone in that moment, just calling that out, saying let's not do that, and deterring away from that is super important when it comes to people just sharing and talking and discussing through different life experiences or things they might believe or stuff they might be curious about. So that's a big element. I think you guys did fantastic with this last year. I'm sure you'll do it again. I just wanted to put a few tips or ideas out there to hopefully help you, and really appreciate you guys being a part of this. You're at the heart of this orientation, and your leadership really helps make it what it is. So thank you guys for being a part of it, and we can't wait to see you in Kansas City soon. Take care.